13 minutes in the flow. 14 minutes into the flow. 15 minutes in the flow. 16 minutes into the flow. 17 minutes into the flow. 18 minutes into the flow. Nineteen minutes into the flow. Twenty minutes into the flow.
This is Delta Launch Control at T-minus 52 minutes, 15 seconds, and counting. Joining us now at the console in the Mission Director Center is our NASA Launch Director, Tim Dunn. And we asked him if he would be able to come over and answer a few questions for us now that we're into loading our liquid oxygen into the first stage and kind of bring us up to date on what's been going on. Tim, welcome. And I wonder if you could kind of give us a status, kind of go back to last night and take us up to where we are today.
Okay, sure will. Well, we had a great evening last night, George. We had a weather briefing, 9:30 p.m., to prepare to move the mobile service tower away from the rocket and into the launch position. That went well, proceeded right into that activity and got the mobile service tower moved into the launch position by about 12:30 a.m. The launch team began manning console in the 3:30 to 4 o'clock time frame. We've had a very smooth turn-on sequence for the rocket. Electrical power-up went nominal. We then began our RP1 loading, kerosene loading of the first stage. We've got 10,000 gallons on board. And as of about 25 minutes ago, we began our LOX loading. And that is underway at this time. So things are looking very well. After LOX loading, we'll go right into our command receiver checks, followed by our engine movement checks, our engine slews. And that'll set us up for a T0 first attempt at 8:29 and 45 seconds.
Do you know anything yet about what the balloons are seeing, the upper level winds, since that's what surprised us here at the very end in the first launch attempt? What does it look like so far? Do we know?
We have gotten a couple of balloons up and processed that data. And as of the last balloon, we are green for upper level winds at this time. We still have a few more balloons to put up and look at that data. Obviously, that will tell us if we're go for launch, but right now it looks very favorable. Given Thursday's scrub, it was due to those upper level winds, and because we're flying the Delta II heavy configuration, we don't have quite as much allowance when we're flying through the transonic region, about the 15,000 to 22,000 foot region. So any type of disturbance there really affects the Delta II heavy configuration. So today, though, the winds do look favorable at this time, so we're looking forward to them holding that configuration.
Now, we did have to take an additional day, and could you just give us a little background about what that was necessary?
Okay, yeah, I'll just start on Thursday. We did scrub, obviously, for the upper level winds. We then went into our normal scrub recovery and securing activities. Those activities ran a little bit on the long side, so we needed to leave what we call the first stage engine section heaters on a little bit longer than we would have preferred. And as it turns out, in doing so, we violated a red line limit when we ran those just a little bit over 3 hours. 3 hours is their standard limit that we'd want to turn those heaters off. Those heaters keep some of our critical components in the engine section warm in that super chilled environment of LOX. So because we did violate that parameter, we needed to go evaluate that. Well, because of the scrub on Thursday, we were already looking at the upper level winds processing, so that had part of our team occupied. And then we used the remainder of the day Thursday to begin looking at this first stage engine heater parameter. And unfortunately, because of crew rest limitations, we ran out of time, worked till about 9 o'clock Thursday night, and we were in a position where we knew we probably had about 3 more hours of work to do to verify that we were good to go. So we did make the decision, the combined launch team, ULA, NASA team, we made the decision to go ahead and stand down, take our time, and we did that on Friday morning, finished reviewing that, verified all our hardware is in good shape, verified that our process is good, and set up for the attempt this morning.
Well, you talked to the GRAIL spacecraft manager this morning. How's the spacecraft doing atop the rocket and their readiness as far as all their tracking requirements for launch?
I have talked to Dave Lehman, our SMD, our spacecraft manager for this mission, and the spacecraft is healthy. Looks really good right now, ready to launch. All of our downrange assets are in a good configuration for launch right now. We did have one issue we were dealing with. Tropical Storm Maria is nearby Antigua right now, and Antigua does have a couple of our telemetry antennas. They have had to stow one of their antennas there, so we do have a single antenna at Antigua for telemetry. But in case they do have to take that antenna down, we have the backup asset of TDRS, the on-orbit asset, to pull the telemetry from the Delta II rocket. So we are in a good configuration, even if the storm causes them to do further securing at Antigua.
Well, Tim, thanks very much. That really brings us up to date, and it sounds like our liquid oxygen loading is going well. So at this point, it appears that we're on track for 829.
We're looking really good, George.
All right, thank you, Tim. And we're at T-minus 46 minutes, 13 seconds and counting. This is Delta Launch Control.
Cycle complete 2 times. Fill and drain open.
Copy. And Prop 2, take LOX load timer enable off.
Off.
LC, report clear to pressurized vehicle LOX tank to check relief and establish VE LOX bleed.
And you're clear, ATC.
Copy. Prop 1, establish vehicle LOX tank prepress bank at 63 plus or minus 2. Established. And Prop 1, take vehicle LOX tank vent closed. And Prop 1, pressurized vehicle LOX tank to relief. Pressurizing.